will remember, around the time of the release of 50 Shades of Grey in February, both the film's director, Sam Taylor Johnson, and the film's screenwriter, Kelly Marcel, who was nominated for a BAFTA award for her Saving Mr. Banks screenplay, left the franchise over reports of clashes with the book's author, E.L. James. Reports at the time claimed James wanted more control over the scripts and the film. Today comes word that a new screenwriter for 50 Shades sequels has been hired, none other than E.L. James's husband, Niall Leonard. Leonard has some credited writing work in a couple of British TV series, as well as uncredited rewrites on the 50 Shades script. Christian Barr saw the addition of Niall Leonard as the new screenwriter for the 50 Shades sequels.
This is such a huge buy.
What?
And I'm gonna
I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this.
This is like if Tom Hardy was cast in episode 8, I don't know if I'd buy this more. You know why? Because no one else can be blamed for their nonsense now. It's going to be in the family. They should get their Uncle Joe to direct it. They should get their Aunt Francine to do the costuming. They should make this a family affair. So when a good writer comes in and goes, I have this idea, and they go, no, we got to put a whip around her face and make her do a silly dance. That's only up to them. It's their fault.
Somebody make me an animated GIF of that. What just happened.
It's true, man, because she hires the husband now because the poor writer and director that had to get involved last time. Yeah. And it's like, and now they have to go in and they go, what did you work on last? Nothing. You know, the last writer, because they have this stink now on there because it's a job. They take the job and they write as well as they can, but then they're told by this maniac who says, no, you have to do this. But the husband, good, let it be a stink bomb, and then it's their fault. It's a family affair. So I buy the fact that they're taking responsibility for the stink.
You know, here's the funny thing about this is that when they announced the 50 Shades movie and their movie, because the books were such like cultural, like phenomenon.
Yeah.
There were big name directors and big name writers who were actually lining up because the concept of the book, you put that, the concept of what that book is into the hands of the right writer and the right director, you could make something, you know, encompassing and haunting and just enticing. You could do all of that and erotic and whatever. So what they did was they turned down the bigger name directors who could have, you know, exercised some influence over things. And they went with a very good director, with Sam Taylor Johnson. Great. And then they brought on a very good screenwriter. Like, I love the screenplay for Saving Mr. Banks. I thought it was great. But right away, the reports of the clashes, E.L. James wanted control over that movie. And now when you even hear that her husband did an uncredited rewrite, you're sitting there going, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
And look, I don't like to do rumor mongering. So all these, we never talked before about rumors about clashes between the director and the writer. I'm sorry. When she puts the studio against the wall and makes them hire her husband, who will do whatever she says to write script, that just verified every rumor we ever heard about this whole thing. This thing is a ball of flame crashing to earth, and I don't even know if it's going to hit the ocean. This is, I've never heard a story like this in Hollywood with a major picture. Anyway, your take on this?
Yeah, it's a huge sell because I agree with you that the concept is great. I mean, the fact that the first movie made over $500 million worldwide speaks to the fact, and it was terrible, speaks to the fact that there is a huge section of an audience who wants this kind of material, who wants something good, but they will settle for whatever. And the best screenwriters and the best directors could not make that movie any good because of her involvement, because she wouldn't let go. She had to have her dialogue in it, and her parts that were her dialogue from her book were the most laughable. They were the most ridiculous.
But that's my point, though. Aren't you happy though to see a good writer?
No,
because they're going to
because
a good
will
still
still see it.
Well, of course,
and they deserve better.
But I just want to protect the good writers, because you can put the best writer in there now. He walks in there, he or she walks in there and says, "I have this," and they're going up against this wave of, "Nope, we're going to put in whatever we want to say."
I just wish they could exercise control over her and say,
they can't, though.
Done. I know they
That's
can't,
but
that's what I want. They just get rid of her and get good directors and good writers and good actors involved, and it could be a good movie. I mean, people want erotic thrillers out there. Watch Secretary instead of
And you know,
50
it's
Shades.
a funny thing. And look, I'm going to need everybody to put on their adult hats for a second, okay? So here's the thing. Not everybody murders, but we do lots of movies about murder. We explore the nature of murder, what compels somebody. Not everybody runs for president, but we make movies about what drives somebody to run for president, all kind of stuff. All of us have sex. You know, Well, I mean, some of us at this table probably have more than others, but all of us at this table, I mean, we all do. I mean, and that is part of all of our human nature and existence. And to have a movie coming out that gives us the possibility to explore some of the darker corners of that.
Women a chance to explore their sexuality in a way, and fantasies that aren't usually shown on screen, fantasies that we might want to explore, we might want to see represented on screen. I think that's why the books were such a hit.
Absolutely.
It spoke to something, even though they were terrible.
And you could do something. I think that's why a lot of these big directors lined up. They wanted a crack at this because I think there was potential there. And having that book be such a cultural icon and hit, it gave the studio permission to make a movie about it, whereas most studios, understandably so, will shy away from material like that. Big cultural icon, now we can do it. And they dropped the ball.
Yes.
But that's just my opinion. Maybe you loved the movie. And if you did, great. All movies subjective. That's wonderful if you did. But I don't think those of us at the table did.
More sex, please.
More sex, please.